Welcome to the Apex Insider Bahrain GP recap show. I got my boy Dolcetto here with me. We're trying to do this as much as we can after every race week. We are back after a morning race. I guess, maybe noon for you guys. I'm not sure, but no more midnight, no more none of that crap. So what's going on, man?
Good to be back. Sorry, last week I had the case of food poisoning and it was terrible. Don't wish it to my worst enemy. It was just horrible, but I'm glad that we're back. I'm glad that there was an actual race that there was I could see some daylight. Didn't have to stay until 4 in the morning. It was great. It was a good time. And
That's good.
bets came out my way at least. So that is good. Community bet didn't go as planned.
Nope.
I think like we're kind of cursed like right now, so we need to break that ice and we need to win a couple of those. But it's gonna come up. But
Yeah,
it was a good race overall. I thought it was good.
yeah.
Boring races are good for betting. Remember that.
Yeah, well, of course. Yeah, and that's why this past weekend I was getting a little frustrated. I did not have the best weekend. I finally crapped out. It was a while. I kind of made a mistake, actually. I double booked, which ended up being the community bet, and I'm trying to reserve my. I just hated that. I did not like that. I don't like it when one of my bets is plays out that way. However, community bet did lose. What is it? 2 for 2 this year. I'm looking at the stat. Didn't hit in Australia. I don't think.
I think I don't know if
Or
we
maybe
I
I'm looking at the wrong
no
thing.
no we're 0-4. We
We're
have not
0-4.
won.
Oh,
Yes,
ooh, ooh.
we're 0-4.
No way.
Brother, brother, it is
It's
0-4.
really
It is.
0-4.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah,
man.
we got we uh I think it was in China. Something happened. I think that the Ferrari was the disqualification
Mm, mm,
that screwed
mm,
us.
mhm,
This week was science that
mm.
you know the retirement. Something happened in China. I cannot remember, but yeah, we're winning the bet halfway through the race, and then boom, it's done. But I could go back and look at it. But we're all in four. I did update it on Discord. But for the year, we have one of the guys in the Discord that he shared how we did on the community bet, and we're still profitable by 1.22 units if you bet every bet that was given uh, you know for like that was up for voting. So still not too bad, but yeah, we're all in four, and I think it's time for us to win this weekend. I think it's overdue.
Yeah, I realized there were. I mean, it's pretty cool. I like the tracking where the individual is putting. I don't know how to pronounce his coat tie. I don't know. I don't know how
Yeah,
is
I
it.
I don't want to butcher it, but yes, it's
But I'm sure he's
Kotai.
gonna listen. And I'm gonna say like, thank you first off for doing this. Second, it has actually motivated me to actually place a nomination into the community bet because he's tracking everyone's community bet nominations, even though it doesn't win the community bet. We're still tracking. I mean, a lot of these are plays that people are doing, and it's actually pretty successful outside of the most voted bet so far that has been absolutely cursed since after 2022. I think.
Maybe Sergio is still got a black magic on us, and we just can't beat it.
Well, I mean, we were doing
uh,
so well in 2022,
it
halfway
was
through 20 through 23, and
we
then
were we were break even last year. I think it was like 12 and no, it was 11 and 12 last year. I think it was so. But yeah, like you were we started high. I think it was like 6-2, and then shit hit the fan,
yeah,
and now we're off to a rough start. But hopefully, that's we got lots of races. We got 20 more races to go, so not to
I'm
worry about it yet.
I have a new goal with community bet, and my goal is now that we're kind of tracking who's nominating, I want to see if I can get to 100% throughout the year of just my nominations, whether it gets picked or not. But so far, I put my nomination as the winning margin over 7 that was offered on Bet Online, and it was juiced a lot,
Hmm.
and I was so confident in that thing. So
Yeah.
it won. We're good. But yes,
I'm 2 for 2, so
you're two
I'm
for two.
happy. Yeah, I'm two
Yeah.
for two on my nominations. But again, I want the community to win. That's my goal.
Well,
But
yeah, yeah.
I totally understand
Well,
like where you come from, and
I
that's
do want to talk about that community bet because that was one of my bigger bets. And again, I accidentally double booked it because let's just say I had some cocktails the night before and messaged a friend. And then I didn't realize I also placed it myself on another book because I came out. So, anyways, yeah. What really irks me about that is that bet would have hit. I really believe it. Number
yeah,
one, Signs was gapping like significantly to Yuki. Yuki was losing so much pace. I mean, at like one point, if I remember, it was like, damn, he's like 3 seconds behind Yuki. I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna catch him. He's gonna catch him. And then both fuck faces hit each other, and that fucked his race. At the end of the
yeah,
day, that fucked his race because if he would have just cleanly got away from Yuki, he would have cleared him. He would have cleared him, and he probably would have gapped him, and he would have been fine.
yeah, yeah. And when I saw the second pit stop, and I was like, wow, they're the tire strategy. I was like, what are they doing? And then
Yeah,
like two
it
laps
was already
later,
over.
retire the car, and
It
I'm
was
like, oh
already
god
over.
damn it! It
He
was just
that
very odd.
puncture, yeah, the
Yeah,
puncture was so big that he was
yeah,
after the puncture to his side pod. That was it for Signs. Like he was
yeah.
not going to gap any further. Like he just needed to make that clear pass, and he would have been fine. Yeah,
It's at least the only good thing I guess from this is like for my futures bet that I have Albon over Science plus 350. I highly doubt that Science can, because I think Albon already has what 18 points or something like that.
he. I was just looking at that. Let me get
I
the.
think I think that he's got 18 points for the season,
Let me grab it
and
again. Albon has 18. Signs has
that's
where is
well
Signs?
like
One.
the one. Yeah,
One.
exactly. To retirement, so I'm in a good spot there. But again, I'm not trying to look. Like that was a good bet.
Oh,
I was
100%.
on Science all weekend too, so
100%. There's a lot of overreaction because of the signs. He came from the, and then like it made a lot of sense. So
I was
no,
actually
shout out to you on that one.
I was worried about your winning margin for a second. I was like, oh man,
Well, when the
you know,
safety car came out, I was like, what are we doing? Like,
yeah.
I honestly, I was questioning why is there a safety car? Number one, why didn't you just do a VSC? Like, what was
Okay,
wrong with
so
that
I didn't
at
go
minimum?
back because I was on multiple screens. I had it on. I was watching, unfortunately, Manchester United and the race at the same time,
Watching
and
guys flop all day, huh?
but I was like, why is there a safety car? They did not show
Just
anything. I was like, what the hell's going on there?
it was
It
just
was very
debris. It was just debris from
yeah, but
the signs Yuki hit, and it just that was the only reason. So like, there were many ways they could have approached it, and yeah, I was like, you're fucking kidding me because I'm glad you bring this up because that did kind of change some things. Now, I don't know how much it would have changed. I'm not going to sit here and try to give you a crystal ball, but just one quick example was uh, Ocon had just pit like, I don't know, 2 laps before the safety car, right?
yeah,
And Behrman was ahead of him. And because of that, Ocon ended up being ahead of Behrman of that because everyone else pit it right after that, right? Duhan, same thing. Even though Duhan ended up in like P17 anyways because he sucks and he just can't take care of his tires and all these things,
yeah.
but he still benefited from that. There were people that benefited from it because they already had pit earlier, and then some did not benefit. Like Antonelli, I think he did not benefit from. I
He
think
did
he
not.
kind of
No.
did. He kind of did because he ended up getting a new set of tires. Anyways, it really changed the outcome a little bit on how things could have run. And yes, I agree. Not only the signs going to hards or Williams strategy play, I think that it was actually mind boggling to me that some of these teams actually did not slap the softs on. Like I was questioning at first, I was like, why are you putting on softs? There's like 23 laps. But they obviously they're smarter than me. All right. They have
Yeah.
the data right in front of them, and they knew the softs can continue to give you pace throughout the race. This is just the theme of the year is the durability of these Pirellis are much, much more strength than years past.
I think that Piastri was one that made the note to one of them saying, "Wow, they're going on softs, 23 laps to go," and I think it was him on one of the radio communications. And
Lando said that was the way to go, and it was the
yeah,
way to go
yeah,
because and I think the reason for that is, especially at this circuit, and that was why last year they only went softs and then hards, and then or I'm sorry, like soft hards, or soft hards softs. They didn't even touch the mediums last year, and
yeah.
there was a reason for it. Is because even though it was durable, it was only going to be durable for like an extra 5 laps, but you're losing time in that first initial like 5 to 10 laps
Yeah.
of like half a second between the
but
softs and mediums.
mediums were pretty good this race though.
Yeah,
From
it's
the
changed. Everything
perspective
has
they were,
changed.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
So
mean,
that's
like we
why,
said, with the compounds and everything, yeah.
and there's some other fuckery that's happening with the tires, which again goes into next week, which is actually they're going even softer compounds compared to last year at Jeddah. So now they're going like C3, C4, C5 versus before it was C2, C3, C4. But anyways, but going back to the race, yes, Haas, impressive.
I was just
I
gonna say,
mean,
how impressive are you with Haas? I mean,
I,
double points again.
I only got one word for you, Goat Matsu. He's the man. He just knows strategy. They know when to attack when the time matters for strategy. They could do the complete opposite of what Ferrari does. They actually have a strategy and they know how to
Haas is the
pivot
best
like that.
midfield team. They are.
Uh,
I was
Ocon is
not
number
expecting it.
9. Oh, and we
Yeah,
were talking about this. Like, listen, I was high on Haas towards last year. I really did a lot of just reading about Komatsu and his approach, the way he was coming in after Gunter. I didn't know anything about the guy as much. And then I started learning more about him and then reading his quotes and listening to him. And I'm like, man, this guy, he gets it. He knows cars. He
yeah,
understands. He's an engineer. So
yeah.
he
I
he
mean, and
just
you also have Bierman, who's coming into this new team, let's call it, because it's a Ferrari engine, right? So
yeah,
he's kind of familiar with it, but like his true rookie season, he scored points in 3 out of the 4 races.
yeah.
Like, that's impressive in that car. And he had a terrible qualifying. Don't get me wrong. It was, I was higher on him during qualifying, and I
I
lost one of my
that's
bets.
the tricky part about this team right now
But
is we
wasn't it
don't understand them in
before
qualifying,
Haas was the qualifying team? Remember, P6,
and they drop back.
P7, and then the race we knew to fade them, and now it's like the other way around.
That's what I remember reading this exact thing last year, and Komatsu said this thing. He said in the past, when it was Gunter's reigns, Gunter had a way of doing development that he was just trying to shove what he could to develop the car to get it fast, and he didn't take really in consideration about race pace. He did, but he did it. Komatsu said, we're changing all that. And then what he did is he scrapped some things and said, we're just going to have a benign car. We're just going to start from this way where the car is balanced. And it doesn't matter how much top speed it has and how much let's make sure it's balanced. Whether the qualifying results are good or not, we need to have a balance. And then they just methodically did little things to improve the car. And that's why you saw improvements. What the issue was this year, they made one slight mistake, which happens, and they started the season with like, whoa, something's wrong. And here we go again. He found a small fix and he stuck his neck out there for it. Put this upgrade in there. Seems to be working. And again, it's his approach. Things are benign. We're going to slowly, methodically improve on it. So this is what's happening with Haas right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm very impressed, and I know that Mac is gonna be happy with his boy Bierman. So it's but that brings me to the next point. We all expected Zauber to be bad, but how bad is Austin Martin? Like,
very bad.
Alonso doesn't have a point yet. He's one of the 4 drivers. They're all rookies who don't have points, right?
Duhan,
Bortoleto,
and then Bortoleto.
yeah, so he's not in a company where you want to be in this car. Who's not?
But Stroll is in 10th ahead of
Stroll,
Gasly,
yeah,
Behrman, and Yuki.
And Stroll had a horrible race too, right? And it's like
that
one
car
of
is
those.
bad, man.
Yeah, and I'm like, what are they gonna do? Like, what? Like, I do they just like scrap the season now
I
and
think
just
I think that's exactly what's happening. I think that is right there what you just said. I'm not saying they're scrapping it. They're going to probably bring upgrades, try to be competitive, but you can tell they are focused on 2026. They just brought in Nui, so like Nui's just coming in, right? Like it's just like anything. You need to ramp up. You need to do things. Like what was it? What were they going to do with this car anyways? They completely fucked it last year or at the end of 2023 into 2024, really. And you can't just fix it. So you can do small fixes and all that, but it's just not good right now. And after just watching the in-car camera, it was bad. Like it looked like a boat. Like you're just
yeah.
trying to move a boat around. It was bad.
It looks like me on F125, just
Yes.
out there like barely going. I
I
cannot tell you how many times I've raced on that track, and I can never have a good race there. Never. Just it's hard track, for me at least to drive on.
For
I don't
me,
know how
it's
often you've
every
done it.
track. I'm just terrible at F1 2025.
I feel like
Throw me in iRacing and I'll do it.
for me, like I feel like maybe it's because of the years that I have played. Like Australia, I got the most knowledge because it's always the first round, right?
Yeah.
Like it used to be, and I am so like used to. I know the track. I could sleep and drive on it, but like it's like these tracks are just hard, man. They get harder and harder, and the game is becoming so hard. Like you got so much stuff that you can do with that game that it's
I hate it. I feel like this is my boomer moment. But
yeah.
why is it when I load the game, it's got all these like just options everywhere of like things? I'm like, I don't care. I don't want coins. I don't want any of these things.
Yeah.
I just want to play. What is
Yeah.
wrong with you kids these
Yeah.
days? What happened to just playing the game?
They want it to be as realistic as possible, right? So
Realistic with what? These coins and putting like mustaches on people and well, I don't know what else you could. I just want to play the game. I just want to race.
Try driving without a fucking, excuse my language, without any assists or any.
That's the way I play, and I hate it because
so hard.
I'm sitting there trying to compete with Renegade, and Renegade's sitting here on a controller, just kicking my ass by like 3 seconds.
But he's British,
but he's also using traction control.
Yeah, but he's also British. It's in his blood, right? So we're gonna give him that. So
I'm sitting here with the wheel, and he's sitting there kicking my ass by like 3 seconds. I'm like, Jesus, I need to get better at this.
But to get back to that, how about Alpine? They weren't looking for double points.
I did not. Okay, so Alpine.
I mean, Duhan had a good weekend outside of the race, towards the back of the race.
Some of the things that
I'm kind of impressed a little bit.
I said this on the pod last week. I was like, I think they're going to struggle because in the past 3 races, they were struggling for traction in certain areas of China and Australia and Japan even. Coming in, they were kind of mixed. It was like they had a good FP1, but there wasn't really much competition.
There was a lot of
kind of struggle in FP2.
Drivers. Yeah.
They got something in FP3 and they just kicked ass from that point. So I'm like, wow, I'm like eating my words at this point. But I think I know why. It's because they actually did take in and put a higher downforce wing in the rear, which helped with the stability in the rear, in the back, which gave them that traction, that grip, that everything. So should have saw that and had the signs. Although I was like thinking, I was like, man, they're putting in a wing that's a little bit bigger. So I was like, oh, maybe that will help. I don't know, but yeah, they did well. Duhan, he sucks. He should be out. I don't understand why he's still there. I mean, nice guy, I'm sure, but he should maybe just stick to being in the media or something and bring in Colapinto and his Argentinian fan base and get your sponsorship. And because I'm still
you don't need Australian Piastris and all you need.
Yeah, like I think Alpine are on to something. They brought in Sanchez to come in and change up and shake things up with Alpine, and it's been happening since last year. This year, kind of mixed, but Gasly's in 11th, right? So
yeah,
I mean,
he has had a lot better season than he did last year, for sure.
Yeah, good race too.
Maybe it was the French last year with Ocon and stuff.
Well,
So
I just want to point one thing out. Ocon is ahead of Gasly in the driver's standing.
that's
Yes.
that's a Haas. Haas is a beast.
No, I'm just saying right now
Uh,
you have Antonelli, Lewis Hamilton, Albon, and Ocon. I know people like to shit on Ocon, but I think he just knows how to drive during races. He can race. He could during a race day. He might suck during qualifying, free practice, and whatever, but he knows he could be in there on a race. Like he's good.
yeah.
Not great,
No.
but good.
No, I agree. No, that was good. George did good too, outside of all the technical issues, dashboards, electronics. Who knows what else was wrong with that car and in the
Power
communication.
cycled the
But
modem.
yeah, George is the man, dude. And I'm not saying this because I'm a Mercedes guy, but just great drive and just like he had the pressure at one point from Lando. I mean, the whole race pretty much, and he was able to keep it up. And I'm a Russell fan, so I can never,
Obviously, same
you know,
here. Yeah. Well, we're
yeah,
both
but
Mercedes fans anyway.
yeah,
So,
yeah. But it's I would love to see him one day competing for the championship. Hopefully, I don't know if it's gonna be this year, but hopefully in the coming up years.
Hey, listen, I mean, I would
I
not
know.
count it out even for this year.
Well,
Like
yeah, because you have the two McLarens who can knock each other
he's
out
got
here and
he
there,
he
and
just he's got 63 points. And I mean, I think that like I'm not saying he is going to win. Obviously, McLaren is the best, but hypothetically speaking, what if we do have this crazy, Piastri Lando fuckery that we would see, run
Lewis
into
Hamilton,
each
Rosberg.
other? There could be that one race they kind of just run into, yeah, exactly, where they run into each other and like boom, they fuck each other's race, right?
Yeah,
We've seen that before. It's not uncommon with two alpha drivers in an alpha team do that.
yeah.
And then he just, he might sneak a few. Who knows? Like you just never know. I
I
mean, those
mean,
odds on for futures, I think is still sitting at 20-1. Let me see actually what we're at. Yeah, 20-1. It hasn't really changed a whole lot since the beginning of the season, but
yeah,
it's possible.
it's interesting. At least he could fight for that second spot. If
Yeah,
because you know the McLarens are very very strong,
they're too good.
and I
Too
mean
good.
I'm very when Piastri came on in F1, I was like, okay, just another a lot of hype guy. You need another Australian because just part of the F1 world. But man, he's so impressive. He just is. I think he's the better driver like right now than Lando is. And I don't want to say in a worse car because I cannot say that McLaren is a bad car because Lando's got the priority, right? But I feel like, man, he's taking everything out of that car. And Piastri, like I had one of those bets for the leader to have over 34 and a half laps, right? And I
Yeah.
was like, if Lando gets a good start, which he did, he's not gonna be able. Nobody's gonna be able to catch him. So I'm very very well impressed with Piastri, and I hope that this is a season where like we don't have any communication, like let Lando go through or something. I hope they just let them. We
I
don't see
hope
it yet,
we
but
got to see them. They just got to let the boys fight.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
They just got to let them fight. Definitely, I agree there. Oh, one thing I did want to bring up while we were talking about Haas, if you're looking at futures market, you could still grab Behrman season head to head. You can still grab Behrman over Ocon, which is not bad at plus 250 odds on Bovada. I don't know if it's anywhere else. I just randomly was looking at it right now, and I was like, oh wow, that's actually not bad at all. Because you're going to see it. It might switch again. This last weekend, it could have easily been Behrman over Ocon, possibly. I don't know. I don't have the crystal
Yeah,
ball though.
yeah. I don't. I have to shop around because this week has been like right now. Like usually we get some lines, but the F1 has been very bad. I'm starting to see MGM post some qualifying, but
Yeah, I bet
But
you we'll see it in the like middle of the night into the morning. We'll start seeing stuff for Jeddah, but
yeah,
um,
but that's yeah,
yeah,
it's another late race for us here in North America. It's 1 p.m. actually. It's even later than this past week, which is good.
I love
I'm
that.
okay with that. Yeah.
This is NFL start. That's it. It's perfect.
Yeah, except we don't have Masters to follow up. I see your hat. That
I
was a
was
great finish.
I was overwhelmed with things happening all over the weekend. I couldn't even pay attention that much to Masters, and there was just it was a lot. I kind of wish I could have just sat down and just glued myself to 50,000 TVs and just watched
And just
things,
watch.
but it was getting a little distracting, and I had like a lot of things going on. But yeah, no, great to see Rory. It was kind of funny every time. I'm like, oh, he's gonna choke. He ends up nailing it. I'm like, oh, he might do it, and then he chokes. I'm like, ah, he's. I was like, kept going the opposite.
It was back and forth. I was kind
Yeah,
of hoping for the playoff because it was gonna be exciting, but man, his second shot where the ball rolled down, I was like, oh man, that was just pure luck there for the ball to roll another 20 25 feet, and then
yeah,
he was just so much closer than Rose was. And yeah, it was a good finish. And
good,
I'm
great,
gonna
great
be
finish.
honest with you, I only watched the last 3-4 hours of it. I did not
Oh,
watch
I
it
mean,
all
that's just
weekend.
the same. Like I just was trying to pay attention. Like we had IndyCar. I got you know what? This is just going to be another grind my gears moment. Like I love gatherings and getting together for a watch party of some sort. But the one thing I hate is there's always that group of people that come just to socialize the entire time, and I'm like sitting there just like I'm trying to watch, and this person's like, "Oh, have you thought about like this thing that we could do this week?" And I'm like, God damn it. I just want to see it. I just want to see what's
Yeah,
going on.
yeah.
Like so that
Oh, I
felt like
totally get it.
I felt like that was happening all weekend to me. Like
I know there's a place here in Detroit there that is an F1 bar.
yeah.
That I keep hearing about it, and I still have never been to it. It's one of my goals for this year to go to watch a race, but like I'm worried about that aspect of like going in and it's a bar, right? And people, how many people? I mean, I'm sure that being an F1 bar, everybody's more like into it, but I'm like, I don't want to sit to some next to somebody and they talk my ear out the whole time. Where you're like, hey man, I'm trying to just watch a race. Like,
NFL, same thing.
yeah,
I'm like, I just want to watch games like when I go with my regular buddies, like we chit chat, but we're
yeah,
watching.
yeah.
We're
Oh yeah.
watching,
When the
right?
game is on, you're
You're
watching. Yeah,
watching. But when you have these people that just you don't even know them, they bring maybe wives and their wives' friends and things and stuff, and then they start just socialize, and then they get drunk, and then
yeah.
they're more chatty, and then I'm like, I do not care. That's
You're like,
all I want to say. Yeah, I don't
shut it,
care.
shut
Yeah,
it.
shut your mouth, shut your mouth. So yeah, it's kind of funny how
uh,
that. But yeah, that's how I
but
felt. I was like sitting there, like trying to watch at times. I'm like, God damn it! Like it just let me just see this pot right here, like very quickly. And
well, that was I've only been like IndyCar. Like I didn't follow. I'm in the Eliminator Challenge thing, and honestly, like I told you, I cannot even if you show
you
me two pictures.
sucked.
And I started hot, and I was like,
You
I
know what
just picked
though?
the guy, and
I respect that pick because I was considering it, but I've been saving Joseph Newgarden for the ovals because the ovals are coming up, and that's when
I
I
have no
really
idea.
and I know I'm guarantee you half the guys are doing the same thing. So if you're listening, I'm watching you too. You know, I know I see you, Maxwell. But it's funny. Like I actually picked Kirkwood. He ended up winning. I should have just bet him. I was like, he got P1. I should have just bet him, but it was hard to bet. It's hard to bet against Pillow. And if you want a futures bet, actually, Nathan Rogers, he's already placed it. He did see that Alex Pillow is still plus 150 for him to win the IndyCar championship. He's already won 2 races, got second place. Like the guy is elite. He's the Max Verstappen of the grid right now. Pretty good odds. I'm surprised. Even Maxwell said it, and he said it best. Like I'm surprised it's not even like even money at least, and it's a good bet. definitely a good bet. So getting some futures bets across F1 and IndyCar, and
There you go.
I don't know, maybe we'll give you cricket next.
Who knows? Anything goes, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But
But
let's
anything
oh,
for Saudi you've seen? I've seen odds for winner. I've seen Piastri and Norris
I
are
mean plus
uh
130 or
plus
this
140. They're both
yeah, plus
the
140.
favorite to win it. Anything you like? I mean, I know it's early in the week, but
Oh, I have no basis behind this. Saudi is a completely different track than what we're going to see with Bahrain. It's one of the fastest tracks on the grid, or on the calendar, I should say. Um, so it's not like totally technical. It's just the way it works is one slip up and that's where you lose your time. So you just got to make sure you're sound on that. Obviously, the McLarens can get through every single little turn. The DRS zones, you have 3. So drag is not going to, if you have a very draggy car, it's not going to impact you as much, because when you are on the straights, you're just going to use DRS, so that's okay. That limits any of your drag issues, and you need the drag through to go through the windy and twisty turns, anyways. So McLaren, of course, going to be up there. I like contrarian views, buy low moments, although I still don't care for the odds, and I'm only focused on fastest qualifier. But I'm going to be watching for Lando Norris's odds, because just like 2 weeks ago at Japan, which technically should have gotten that qualifying, to see him at plus 180, I was like, that's crazy, because that should, now you don't even see plus 180 for him, and he still hasn't won the past 3 races, whatever it is. So if I can see him at plus 180 again for fastest qualifier, I will definitely be taking a stab at it. But right now, I think it's at plus 140. So not interested.
yeah, that's his odds too for the race as well.
Right. Just
Qualifying, that's same 140.
George
Yeah,
Russell, what I did again, even though it of course didn't win, but he was at 14-1. Now he's at 9-1 every time. So like 2 weeks ago when I was taking those odds, it's because I was like, the books are going to be adjusting eventually. And here we are. So I don't even like Leclerc's flyer at 10-1. But if you really want to gamble, Lewis Hamilton at 28-1 for fastest qualifier.
I'm
Just
just
because
not impressed with the Ferrari, so
I'm not, I don't want
yeah.
anything to do with it, but that is the closest, best long shot bet you could probably take right now. But
Yeah.
I mean, so soon. We haven't even seen anything, like you said. So
Yeah, especially with so many new drivers on the grid, kind of a tighter track. Yeah, I want to wait. I'm not gonna rush it. I'm getting on a better betting trend from the last couple races, so I'm trying to keep it that way. I'm not gonna try to force anything, and
and
I want to wait.
not
And
me.
being a 1 p.m. race, it's great because I could wake up on a Sunday, and the one thing that I don't like though is like some of the books here.
Mm.
Even though the qualifying was the day before at noon, let's say on Saturday our time, lots of driver matchups don't come out until like the morning
Well,
off, and it's like
DK is the worst now.
it's the worst,
He
the
likes
worst.
to layers den. He
1
likes
hour until the end.
exactly. He does that. MGM, they shoot it right away. And actually, I've been very impressed with Bet Online recently. Not fully, they're getting there, but I was surprised. They even put out some non-teammate head-to-head for practice. They never do that.
Yeah,
Qualifying, same thing. They're putting it out there. So a lot of the odds, and the one thing I will say, Bet Online does a really good job. They take a lot of the MGM odds and copy those, but then they keep adding more as well. But for race day odds, if you want race day non-teammate head-to-head, Bet Online has quite a bit. The odds may not be in your favor, but that it gives you another option if you just want it. And then Bookmaker, I tried that 2 weeks ago. They had some really solid odds, but then this past race, I didn't really get much non-teammate head-to-head. I think only 2 were listed, and then teammates. So it's kind of
Yeah.
a downer. I was like, hey, it looked good from Japan, but this week I was like, kind
Yeah, I never was a fan of bookmaker before legal betting became legal in my state. I used them, and they never had anything good F1. And
yeah.
I know of Bet Online. Is that another one where you do Bitcoin and stuff,
Yeah.
crypto?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
good. I transferred between that to
Yeah,
when I had Bovada, XBet, all of them.
yeah,
XBet has been okay. Again, for me, since I'm limited on options, I'm taking what I can. And actually, my back alley books were also posting some odds on race day too. But it was basically the same stuff that was being offered on like MGM and Bet Online. So
yeah. Most
they're
of them
all
are.
copying. They're all copying each other, and moving a little bit here and
Yeah,
there.
because wasn't XBet platform the same as Bet Online? Like the
My bookie, I think, and XBet are the same. Like
okay,
it's a sister company of my bookie, is what I understood.
okay.
But they all for head to head and all that kind of same. But Bet Online and I would even say Bet US as well. Those two seem to
Man, the good
have.
old days, Bet US.
I have not touched that, and quite honestly, I probably should get back into it. But because I have this crappy rollover bonus, maybe I should just sign up for a new account. Is what I should do, and not do this rollover bullshit. And because it was telling me I needed a rollover, I needed to like play $15,000 worth. I'm like, I'm not gonna. And
Yeah,
it wasn't F1 wasn't even counting towards it. Like I had to play baseball.
other sports.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm not gonna do that with your book. Come on now. So, but they actually have a pretty good options. Yeah, so definitely something to look at. But yeah, I wait till tomorrow. We're gonna do our betting podcast Wednesday. I
Wednesday.
think.
Yep,
Yeah. So,
yep.
yeah.
So
So
hopefully we have some more odds then. Yeah.
yeah, we'll see.
All
We'll
right.
see. But man, great stuff. Love chatting with you on these recaps. I know we kind of went off the rails, but who cares? It's
Yeah,
our
it's
show
fun.
anyways. So
It's fun. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
All right, man. Well, I know you have hockey. Good luck.
I do. Got to leave here in
Enjoy
five
it.
minutes.
Yeah,
5 minutes.
enjoy it, and we'll talk later.
All right, man. See ya.
Yeah.